In the history of finance, bubbles rise and fall, but few reach the audacity and scale of this one. This is the story of a scam so ambitious, so valuable, it temporarily reshaped the financial landscape. It was not a product or a service, but a perfectly engineered illusion of limitless growth. We are talking about the rise and catastrophic implosion of the world's most valuable financial fraud. The story begins with a charismatic figure who understood human greed better than central banking. They promised immediate, effortless wealth backed by a proprietary, secret system. This system was always obscured by technical jargon, complicated algorithms, and complex charts. The complexity was intentional. If the mechanism is impossible to understand, people assume it is brilliant. This scheme wasn't just a Ponzi. It was a global psychological operation built on trust. The core idea was simple: borrow from the new to pay the old, disguised as unbelievable returns. Early investors saw astonishing monthly gains, often exceeding 20%. These early, verifiable returns were the engine that fueled the entire fraud. The victims, seeing their friends become rich, quickly transformed into the scam's most effective salespeople. They brought in their family, their neighbors, and their life savings. Driven by FOMO, the money flowed in an unstoppable torrent, making the scam's creator seem like a financial messiah. As the scheme grew, it became too big to be ignored by legitimate finance. Journalists, regulators, and rival investors all began asking the same question: how? The official explanation always pointed to a black box, an exclusive trading strategy. But the truth was a spreadsheet entry. Every return was simply principal from a new victim. The creator became a fixture in elite circles, buying respectability with the victim's own money. They owned private jets, luxury yachts, and properties around the world, symbols of their supposed genius. This display of wealth was crucial to the scam. It served as concrete proof that the system worked. The entire enterprise relied on the money flowing in being exponentially greater than the money flowing out. If you are riveted by the psychology of these high-stakes financial crimes, hit the like button and subscribe now. We dive deep into the untold histories of corporate and financial excess. The problem with any scam of this scale is mathematics. Growth cannot be infinite. At a certain point, the pool of new victims begins to shrink, or the volume of payouts becomes too massive. The first signs of the spectacular fall appeared not from a regulator, but from a minor liquidity crisis. A handful of large investors tried to withdraw a significant amount of capital simultaneously. This withdrawal created a sudden, unexpected drain on the cash reserves. The scammer had two choices: liquidate the non-existent assets or attempt a desperate cover-up. They chose the latter, inventing plausible, sophisticated reasons for the delayed payments. But the seeds of doubt were sown, and doubt in a truth-based system is a terminal disease. The news spread through the victim cell's force faster than the scam itself had spread initially. Panic set in, and a synchronized run on the assets began, accelerating the collapse. The creator, realizing the game was over, made a crucial decision to confess to a trusted confidant. This confession was the definitive end of the world's most valuable scam. The authorities were notified, and the full horror of the scheme was finally revealed to the public. The secret trading system was found to be a handful of bank accounts with almost no capital. The financial statements were entirely fabricated, a beautiful work of fiction for a decade. The true cost was not just the money lost, but the human cost of shattered lives. Retirements vanished, college funds evaporated, and the trust between friends and family was destroyed. The recovery process was a bureaucratic nightmare, attempting to trace stolen funds across multiple continents. The liquidators faced the impossible task of proving that money paid as profit was actually stolen principal. The assets recovered, the yachts, the art, the real estate were merely a fraction of the total fraud. The spectacle of the trial was a global media sensation, a final curtain call for the fraudster. The defense argued genius. The prosecution argued pure, cold-blooded deception. The conviction was swift and definitive, bringing a measure of closure, but not restitution. The psychological lesson of this scam is the danger of seeking wealth without labor. It proved that people will suspend critical judgment when presented with an opportunity too good to be true. The greater, more terrifying lesson is how long the scam operated under the nose of global regulators. The fraudster exploited the inherent trust placed in the financial system's complexity. They showed that size and influence can buy time and silent scrutiny. The fall of this valuable scam left permanent scars on the regulatory landscape. New rules were put in place, specifically targeting the structures and opacity used to hide the fraud. But experts warn that the psychological conditions that allow such scams to flourish remain The craving for effortless, impossible returns is a constant factor in human economic behavior. The true value of this scam was not the billions it stole, but the systemic failure it exposed. It showed that human due diligence is often trumped by social proof and the fear of missing out. The aftermath forced a conversation about the responsibilities of sophisticated investors to ask tough questions. Every time a new financial miracle appears, this scam's history serves as a chilling, necessary warning. The shadow of its spectacular fall continues to loom over speculative markets today. The next world's most valuable scam is likely already operating, hidden in plain sight. We must learn from this history to protect ourselves from the illusion of guaranteed wealth. We must accept that if the returns defy logic, they defy reality itself. The only true defense is knowledge, skepticism, and the discipline to walk away. Share this video to spread awareness about the anatomy of the world's greatest financial frauds. Help us empower others to recognize and avoid the traps set by these predatory systems. We will continue to investigate and reveal the scams that threaten our economic security. Thank you for watching, and always question the source of your returns.